You've been programmed to believe that more effort equals better results, that grinding harder will force the universe to give you what you want, that if you just work smart enough and hustle long enough, abundance will surrender to your determination. But the quantum field, the fundamental layer of reality from which all experience emerges, operates on completely different principles. It doesn't respond to action. It doesn't reward effort. It doesn't care about your strategies, your plans, or your desperate attempts to make things happen. Subscribe now if you're ready to understand what the quantum field actually responds to, and why this knowledge changes everything about how you create your reality. The hidden voice has been waiting to reveal the vibrational secret that makes effortless manifestation inevitable. The quantum field is a perfect mirror that reflects back exactly what you are, not what you do. It responds to your state of being, not your state of doing. It mirrors your internal vibration, not your external action. And the specific vibration that causes the quantum field to reorganize reality in your favor isn't excitement, isn't desperation, isn't even gratitude. It's the vibration of, "it is already done," the energetic signature of someone living in the reality where their desired outcome has already manifested. Right now, your quantum field is reading your energetic state and organizing your experience to match it perfectly. If you're vibrating at the frequency of, "I need to work harder to get what I want," the field delivers more circumstances that require hard work without guaranteed results. But when you vibrate at the frequency of, "it is already done," the field begins collapsing possibilities into probabilities, probabilities into inevitabilities, and inevitabilities into your lived experience. Part 1. The quantum field as perfect mirror. Every breakthrough in quantum physics confirms what mystics have taught for millennia. Consciousness is not separate from reality. Consciousness is the foundation from which reality emerges. The quantum field isn't some distant cosmic force you must petition or convince. It's the responsive medium through which your consciousness expresses as experience, the malleable substrate that takes the shape of your deepest beliefs and most consistent vibrations. Think of the quantum field like water. Water doesn't judge the container it fills, it simply takes the exact shape of whatever holds it. If you pour water into a square container, it becomes square. If you pour it into a round container, it becomes round. If you pour it into a complex, twisted container, it perfectly matches every curve and angle. The water isn't trying to become the container's shape, it naturally and effortlessly conforms to whatever pattern contains it. Your consciousness is the container. The quantum field is the water. Whatever internal shape your consciousness holds, whatever beliefs, expectations, and energetic patterns you embody consistently, the quantum field naturally fills that shape, manifesting as your external experience. This happens not because you've convinced the field to help you, but because the field has no choice except to mirror your consciousness with mathematical precision. This is why working harder often produces the opposite of what you intend. When you work from the consciousness of, "I don't have what I want, so I must work to get it," you're creating a consciousness container shaped like lack and effort. The quantum field, being perfectly responsive, fills that container by manifesting more circumstances that require effort without delivering satisfaction. You're not working against obstacles, you're working against the quantum mirror that's reflecting your own internal state of not having back to you as external reality. The field doesn't distinguish between positive and negative vibrations. It doesn't prefer abundance over scarcity or success over struggle. It's completely neutral, like a photocopying machine that reproduces exactly what you place on the glass. If you place a picture of a beautiful flower on the copier, you get copies of a beautiful flower. If you place a picture of chaos, you get copies of chaos. The copier isn't judging, it's reflecting. Most people unknowingly place pictures of "working toward what I want" on the quantum photocopier, then wonder why they keep getting copies of "working toward what I want" instead of copies of "having what I want." They're getting perfect quantum responses to their actual vibration, not their intended desire. When you understand the quantum field as a perfect mirror, every experience becomes feedback about your consciousness rather than evidence about external reality. If money is scarce in your life, the quantum field is perfectly mirroring a consciousness that vibrates at scarcity frequency. If opportunities are limited, the field is accurately reflecting a consciousness that expects limitation. If success requires enormous effort, the field is precisely copying a consciousness that believes abundance must be earned through struggle. But here's the revolutionary insight. Since the quantum field is perfectly responsive to consciousness, changing your consciousness immediately changes what the field reflects back to you. You don't have to wait for external circumstances to improve to shift your internal state. You can shift your internal state right now, and the quantum field must respond by reflecting your new vibration as changed external experience. This responsiveness explains why some people seem to create miraculous results with minimal effort, while others struggle endlessly without making progress. It's not about worthiness, luck, or cosmic favoritism. It's about the vibrational container their consciousness creates for the quantum field to fill. People who embody "it is already done" consciousness create containers shaped like completion, fulfillment, and having. The field fills those containers by manifesting experiences that match completion, fulfillment, and having. The quantum field is also infinitely intelligent. It doesn't just mechanically reflect your vibration, it orchestrates the most elegant, efficient, and perfect circumstances to match your consciousness. When you embody "it is already done," the field doesn't just drop your desired outcome into your lap. It weaves together people, timing, opportunities, and synchronicities to deliver your manifestation in ways that often exceed your imagination while feeling completely natural and inevitable. This intelligence means you don't need to figure out how your desires will manifest. Your job is not to manage the quantum field's delivery system. Your job is to maintain the consciousness that creates the container you want filled. The field's intelligence handles all the details, orchestrating reality with a sophistication that your analytical mind could never match. Part 2. The "it is already done" frequency. The vibration of "it is already done" is unlike any other manifestation frequency because it transcends time, transcends effort, and transcends the entire paradigm of trying to get something. When you embody this frequency, you're not operating from future desire or past lack, you're operating from present completion. You're not reaching toward a goal. You're living from the fulfillment that already exists in the quantum realm of infinite possibilities. This frequency feels like profound relief. Not the temporary relief of getting something you wanted, but the deep, permanent relief of recognizing that what you've been seeking was never absent in the first place. It's the relief of discovering that your search for abundance was based on the illusion that abundance was somewhere else, when it was always right here, waiting for your recognition. When you vibrate at "it is already done," you stop asking "how will this happen?" and start asking "how will this unfold?" The first question comes from someone who doubts manifestation is occurring. The second question comes from someone who knows manifestation is inevitable and is simply curious about the form it will take. This shift from "how will" to "how is" represents a quantum leap in consciousness that the field immediately recognizes and responds to. People operating from "it is already done" make different choices than people operating from trying to make it happen. They don't chase opportunities, they recognize which opportunities are aligned with their completed outcome. They don't force timing, they trust that perfect timing is part of the perfection that's already orchestrated. They don't manipulate circumstances, they cooperate with the unfolding that's already in motion. This frequency also eliminates the exhaustion that comes from effortful manifestation. When you know something is already done, you don't drain your energy trying to make it happen. You don't stay awake at night strategizing about how to achieve it. You don't feel anxious about whether it will work out. The natural ease that comes with "it is already done" consciousness creates space for inspiration, synchronicity, and miraculous solutions to emerge. The vibration of completion is also magnetic in a way that the vibration of seeking never can be. Desperate energy repels what it seeks because desperation confirms the absence of what's desired. But completion energy attracts its external equivalent because completion consciousness embodies the fullness that abundance seeks to match. When you feel internally complete, external completion flows toward you to mirror your internal state. It is already done. Consciousness doesn't deny current circumstances, it transcends them by operating from a deeper level of reality where your desired outcome exists as established fact. You might still see bills that need paying, but you see them from the consciousness of someone whose financial abundance is already complete. You might still notice relationship challenges, but you experience them from the consciousness of someone whose ideal partnership is already manifested. You might still observe business obstacles, but you respond to them from the consciousness of someone whose success is already achieved. This transcendence of current circumstances often looks like denial to people operating from trying to change circumstances, consciousness. But it's not denial, it's recognition of a more fundamental level of reality where all possibilities exist simultaneously, waiting for consciousness to select which possibility becomes experience. When you choose to operate from "it is already done," you're not pretending your circumstances are different. You're aligning with the quantum reality where your desired outcome is as real as your current experience. The frequency of completion also transforms your relationship with time. Instead of living in the anxiety of "when will this happen," you live in the peace of "this is happening in perfect timing." Instead of being impatient with the manifestation process, you're patient with the unfolding process. Instead of trying to accelerate results, you trust that the perfection you've aligned with includes perfect timing that serves your highest good. Most powerfully, it is already done. Consciousness makes you a beneficial presence for others. When people encounter someone who genuinely embodies completion, they feel permission to access their own completeness. Your vibration of fulfillment reminds others that fulfillment is possible, that struggle is optional, that the quantum field responds to being rather than doing. You become a living demonstration that effortless manifestation is not only possible but natural when consciousness aligns with the field's reflective nature. Part 3. The Guided Quantum Alignment Meditation. This meditation will guide you into direct experience of "it is already done" consciousness, allowing you to feel the vibrational frequency that causes the quantum field to reorganize reality around your completed desires. This isn't visualization or imagination. This is consciousness training that aligns your internal state with the quantum reality where your manifestation already exists as accomplished fact. Preparation. Creating sacred space. Find a comfortable position where you won't be disturbed for the next 30 minutes. Turn off all devices and notifications. Sit with your spine straight but not rigid, your hands resting comfortably, your feet flat on the floor if you're in a chair. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, making each exhale longer than each inhale to signal your nervous system that it's safe to relax deeply. Phase 1. Quantum Field Connection. Begin by sensing the space around your body. Feel the air touching your skin. Now expand your awareness to include the entire room you're sitting in. Feel yourself as consciousness occupying space, not just as a body in space. Continue expanding your awareness to include your neighborhood, your city, your region, until you sense yourself as awareness that includes vast amounts of space. Now recognize that this space you're aware of isn't empty. It's the quantum field itself, the invisible medium from which all experience emerges. You're not separate from this field. You are this field experiencing itself as individual consciousness. Feel your connection to the infinite creative potential that surrounds and interpenetrates everything that exists. Phase 2. Present moment anchoring. Bring your awareness fully into this present moment. Notice that right now, in this instant, you are not lacking anything essential. You have air to breathe, awareness to experience, life expressing through you. Feel the completeness that exists in this moment, independent of any circumstances you might want to change. This completeness is always available. It doesn't depend on achieving goals or solving problems. Rest in this present moment completeness for several minutes. Each time your mind wants to think about what you don't have or what needs to change, gently return to the recognition of what is complete and sufficient right now. This isn't settling for less. This is recognizing the foundation of abundance that already exists within your being. Phase 3. Quantum Timeline Access. Now, while maintaining your connection to present moment completeness, imagine that you can sense multiple timelines extending from this moment like rays of light extending from a bright center. Each timeline represents different possibilities for your future experience. Some timelines contain struggle and limitation. Other timelines contain ease and abundance. All these timelines exist simultaneously in the quantum field of infinite potential. Without effort or strain, allow your awareness to move along the timeline where your desired manifestation has already occurred. Don't try to see this timeline. Simply let your consciousness naturally align with the vibrational frequency of the timeline where your goal is already accomplished. You're not trying to get to this timeline. You're recognizing that this timeline already exists and is available for your consciousness to inhabit. Phase 4. It is already done. Embodiment. As you align with the timeline of your completed manifestation, begin to feel what it's like to live from the consciousness of someone for whom this manifestation is already accomplished fact. Don't visualize having what you want. Feel being someone who has what they want. Don't imagine the external circumstances. Embody the internal state of completion. Notice how different your breathing feels when your desire is already fulfilled. Observe how your posture shifts when you're someone who has already received what you've been wanting. Feel how your nervous system settles when the search is over and the having has begun. This embodiment is not pretending. This is accessing the quantum reality where your manifestation already exists. Phase 5. Vibrational stabilization. As you maintain this, it is already done, consciousness. Feel how this frequency resonates through every cell of your body. Let this vibration of completion permeate your physical form, your emotional body, your mental field. You're not trying to generate this frequency. You're allowing the frequency that already exists to express through you. Notice that this frequency feels like home, like returning to your natural state rather than achieving something foreign. The vibration of completion is not something you have to maintain through effort. It's something you can relax into, like settling into warm water. The more you relax into this frequency, the more stable and natural it becomes. Phase 6. Quantum field programming. From this embodied state of, it is already done, send a clear signal to the quantum field that mirrors all consciousness. You're not asking the field to give you something, you're informing the field about your completed state so it can mirror this completion back to you as external experience. Feel the field receiving this signal and beginning to reorganize probabilities to match your consciousness of completion. Express gratitude not for what you hope will come, but for the completion that already exists in quantum reality and is now organizing itself to manifest as your lived experience. This gratitude isn't for future possibilities. It's for present realities that exist in dimensions beyond physical matter. Phase 7. Integration and closure. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your physical environment while maintaining the "it is already done" frequency you've accessed. Feel this consciousness settling into your bones, your cells, your energy field. This is not a temporary state you visited. This is your new baseline consciousness from which you'll now operate. Before opening your eyes, make an internal commitment to carry this frequency into your daily activities. When you encounter circumstances that seem to contradict your completed manifestation, you'll remember this feeling and return to it rather than being disturbed by temporary appearances. Open your eyes slowly, feeling yourself fully present in physical reality while embodying the quantum consciousness of completion. You are no longer someone waiting for your manifestation. You are someone whose manifestation is unfolding in perfect timing. Part 4. Living from Quantum Completion. After weeks of practicing the quantum alignment meditation and embodying, it is already done, consciousness, your entire relationship with manifestation transforms. You're no longer someone trying to create results. You're someone allowing results to unfold from the completion that already exists in quantum reality. Your external circumstances begin shifting to match the internal completion you've stabilized as your natural frequency. The effortless action paradox. One of the most surprising discoveries when living from quantum completion is that you actually take more aligned action, not less action. But the quality of your action completely transforms. Instead of forced action driven by fear that nothing will happen without your effort, you take inspired action that flows from the completion you embody. Instead of desperate action aimed at making something happen, you take cooperative action that allows something to happen. This inspired action feels completely different from effortful action. It arises naturally from your alignment rather than being imposed by your will. It energizes you rather than depleting you. It feels like play rather than work, like expression rather than effort, like dancing rather than pushing. People often describe inspired action as feeling pulled forward rather than pushing forward. The quantum field orchestrates opportunities for this inspired action with perfect timing. You don't have to search for what to do. What to do becomes obvious when you're embodying completion. Doors open exactly when you're ready to walk through them. Resources become available precisely when you need them. People appear who can help you exactly when their help serves the unfolding of your manifestation. The identity integration process living from "it is already done" consciousness requires a gradual but profound identity shift. You can't embody completion while still identifying as someone who doesn't have what they want. You can't vibrate at accomplishment frequency while still thinking of yourself as someone working toward accomplishment. The old identity must evolve to match the new consciousness. This identity integration happens in layers. First, you experience moments of completion. Consciousness during meditation or peak states. Then, you begin to maintain this consciousness for longer periods throughout your day. Eventually, completion becomes your default state rather than something you have to consciously access. The identity shift is complete when operating from "it is already done" feels more natural than operating from "trying to get." During this integration process, you might experience temporary confusion or disorientation as your old identity dissolves and your new identity stabilizes. This is natural and necessary. You're literally becoming a different person, someone who lives from completion rather than seeking, from fulfillment rather than desire, from having rather than wanting. The social field transformation as you stabilize in "it is already done" consciousness, your social environment begins shifting to match your new frequency. People who are committed to struggle and limitation become uncomfortable around your completion energy and may distance themselves from you. Meanwhile, people who operate from abundance consciousness or who are ready to learn completion-based living become attracted to your energy field. This social realignment can initially feel challenging, especially if family members or close friends are invested in your old identity of working hard and struggling to achieve goals. They might question your new approach, worry about your lack of motivation, or try to convince you to return to effortful strategies. Understanding their reactions as natural responses to energetic change helps you maintain compassion while holding your new frequency. New relationships that emerge during this phase tend to be more authentic and mutually supportive than relationships based on shared struggle or commiseration about challenges. People are drawn to your peaceful confidence and the sense of possibility you embody. Your social circle naturally upgrades to match your elevated consciousness. The synchronicity amplification, perhaps the most remarkable aspect of living from quantum completion, is the dramatic increase in meaningful synchronicities and coincidences that support your manifestation. When your consciousness aligns with "it is already done," the quantum field orchestrates circumstances with intelligence that often seems miraculous but feels completely natural to your completion consciousness. These synchronicities don't feel random or lucky. They feel like the logical unfolding of a completion that already exists. You receive phone calls exactly when you need them. You encounter people who have precisely the information or connections you require. You discover resources and opportunities through conversations that seem casual but are actually perfectly orchestrated by the field's response to your consciousness. The key to maximizing synchronicity is maintaining openness to receiving your manifestation through unexpected channels while staying unattached to receiving it through any specific channel. When you're truly embodying "it is already done," you trust that the how will be perfect even if it's completely different from what you imagined. The compound completion effect living from quantum completion creates a compound effect where each manifestation makes subsequent manifestations easier and faster. This happens because each success from "it is already done" consciousness strengthens your confidence in the approach and your ability to maintain the completion frequency. Your nervous system becomes increasingly comfortable with allowing rather than forcing, with receiving rather than chasing. This compound effect also occurs because completion consciousness is holistic. It affects every area of your life simultaneously. As you embody completion in one area, such as finances, your relationships, health, and creativity also begin reflecting the same completion frequency. You discover that quantum consciousness doesn't compartmentalize, it transforms your entire experience of being alive. Over time, living from quantum completion becomes so natural that you can barely remember what it felt like to struggle and strive for results. The old paradigm of "work hard to get what you want" seems as outdated as believing the earth is flat. You become living proof that consciousness creates reality, not the other way around. Part 5. The Permanent Quantum Frequency Installation. You've discovered that the quantum field doesn't respond to effort, it responds to the vibration of, "It is already done." You've experienced how this consciousness transforms both your internal state and external circumstances. Now we install this frequency so permanently that returning to struggle-based manifestation becomes impossible, and you become a master of quantum creation through consciousness rather than action. The Master Integration Ceremony. Stand or sit in a space where you feel connected to the infinite intelligence of the quantum field. You are no longer someone learning about quantum manifestation. You are someone who embodies quantum mastery. You are no longer someone trying to align with the field. You are someone whose consciousness naturally creates the experiences you desire through vibrational alignment. Place both hands over your heart and feel the truth. You are the consciousness that the quantum field mirrors. You are the vibration that reality reflects. You are the frequency that determines what manifests in your experience. The field doesn't respond to your actions, it responds to your being. And you now know how to be completion rather than seeking, fulfillment rather than desire, accomplishment rather than effort. The Eternal Completion Declaration. Speak these words with the authority of someone who has mastered quantum creation. I am the vibration of, "It is already done." The quantum field mirrors my consciousness of completion by manifesting experiences that match completion. I no longer work hard to create results. I embody the frequency that allows results to unfold effortlessly. My desires exist as accomplished facts in quantum reality. My job is not to make them happen. My job is to align with the timeline where they have already happened. When I embody completion, the field has no choice but to reflect completion back to me as my lived experience. I am no longer someone becoming successful. I am success expressing itself as my life. I am no longer someone seeking abundance. I am abundance manifesting itself through me. I am no longer someone working toward goals. I am goals fulfilled, enjoying their continued unfolding. This understanding is permanent. This mastery is complete. This frequency is my eternal nature. The quantum legacy creation. Your mastery of quantum consciousness through "It is already done" frequency creates a legacy that extends far beyond your personal manifestations. Every person who witnesses your effortless results begins to question the necessity of struggle. Every individual who feels your completion energy starts to wonder if there might be an easier way to create what they desire. Commit to being a demonstration of quantum mastery. I commit to living as proof that consciousness creates reality through frequency alignment, not through effort. I will embody completion consciousness so consistently that others are inspired to explore quantum creation for themselves. I commit to sharing this understanding with those ready to receive it, knowing that every person who masters quantum consciousness makes it easier for others to access this mastery. My individual transformation contributes to humanity's evolution toward effortless creation. The Field Partnership. Make this commitment to the quantum field that has become your conscious co-creation partner. I commit to honoring you as the perfect mirror of consciousness rather than trying to manipulate you as a cosmic vending machine. I will maintain the frequency of completion and trust your infinite intelligence to manifest my desires in the most perfect way possible. I commit to living from "It is already done" consciousness regardless of temporary appearances, knowing that your response to my frequency is always perfect even when it doesn't match my expectations. I will cooperate with your unfolding rather than trying to control your timing. The Infinite Expansion Protocol. As your mastery of "It is already done" consciousness stabilizes, each manifestation becomes a platform for even greater completion. You're not just someone who got what they wanted, you're someone whose capacity for embodying completion continues expanding infinitely. Each level of manifestation you integrate prepares you for even greater levels of quantum creation. Install these permanent practices for continuous expansion. Daily completion check. Each morning, access "It is already done" frequency for all your current desires before engaging with any goal-oriented activity. Inspired action only. Take action only when it flows from completion consciousness, never from anxiety about whether your desires will manifest. Timeline maintenance. When challenges arise, remember you're operating from the timeline where your desires are already accomplished, so all challenges serve the unfolding of your completion. The ultimate recognition. If you now understand that the quantum field responds to frequency rather than effort, and you're ready to live from "it is already done" consciousness. Write this recognition in the comments. The quantum field mirrors my consciousness. I embody "it is already done" frequency and allow reality to reflect this completion back to me. The ultimate truth: the quantum field doesn't respond to "work hard," it responds to "it is already done." This isn't philosophy or metaphor. This is the operational principle of reality itself. Consciousness shapes experience through frequency alignment, not through effortful action. When you embody completion, the field mirrors completion. When you vibrate at accomplishment, reality reflects accomplishment. When you live from "it is already done," the quantum field has no choice but to organize experience around that completion. Stop working against the mirror. Start being what you want to see reflected. The quantum field is waiting to show you exactly what you are.